Welcome to Sibling Revelry with Doug and Paul. I'm Doug. That's my brother Paul.
Hi.
This is an impromptu weekday podcast. I happen to have the evening off for a change during the week, and Paul usually always has them. And I just texted him at one point, like, "Hey, do you want to do an impromptu podcast?" You know, we had some shit to talk about and vent, and it's not going to be like the Saturday show. We're not drinking. And it's not going to go 4 hours. We've limited it to like what, 30 minutes, an hour?
As long as we want to go, I don't care.
Okay. I'll go as long as I can take before I want tater tots.
Okay. I'm troubleshooting something real quick.
That's good because I want to talk about something. God damn it! I got to remember to keep my finger on the mute button. So yesterday was 222 Day. Now, I don't know the historical significance. I know it's something that's not going to happen for another 100 years or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I've always known 222 as Corey Feldman, Corey Haim's number. That's the Hamster Feld Dog Day. Hi, Kim. I love Kim. By the way, I want to thank you, Kim. I found out what you did. You bought one of our shirts, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
She bought a hoodie and a pint glass.
Ooh, I can't wait to see what the pint glass. Like, I want to get a pint glass so I can drink beer out of it on Saturdays. I'm
gonna get a pint glass too. The first chance I get. I told
God!
her, I was like,
can we get boots made?
Boots? I have no idea.
That would be cool. Yes, it was. Happy birthday! Happy belated birthday!
Do you do anything to celebrate since he's not with? Just out of curiosity, Kim.
Yeah,
I always wondered about that.
Rest in peace. Real quick before it enters my brain, find out if we can get boots made. Because if we can, what you should do is get glass boots made and have Boots' picture put on it.
Oh, you're talking about
logo.
Like glass boots?
Yeah. Have like our logo, but then a picture of Boots on it, like Boots and Bandit. That would be dope as fuck to sell as merch, man.
They got a lot of stuff in there. I grabbed a few pieces of merch that I thought might go well. T-shirt, long sleeve, hoodie, pint glass. And I feel I'm missing something.
Okay.
I definitely feel I'm missing something. Anyway, but if you want to get merch, description in our link tree is below. It'll take you right to our merch store. We appreciate everybody who gets it.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off my monitor, which means I'm not going to be able to. I'm not trying to cut you off. Unless you want to bring something up that you want me to watch or react to.
Are you stupid with the kids growing? I can't stop.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you remember and you think about them, that's what's important. The love never leaves. I'm going to turn my monitor off. And the reason I'm going to turn my monitor off is because you and I are just talking right now, and I'm used to looking in there. But what I'm really driving me nuts is the reflection off my glasses. I can't handle it. And until we can get better equipment.
Why don't you put dark mode on?
I don't know how to do that.
You Google dark mode. What do you use? Chrome? Do you use Google Chrome as your browser?
Yeah.
Type in mode. Google Chrome dark mode extension and then download the dark mode extension. It's real great.
I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we did this within the first 20 minutes before we went live. Add to Chrome. Add extension. Read yes. Yeah, this is my entire life. I'm going against the man on my podcast, but then as I'm like signing up for dark mode, I'm like, yes, take my soul, my firstborn. Joke's on you. I'm infertile. Streaming made easy. StreamYard is a live streaming studio in your browser. That's an ad. I don't know what is going on, Paul.
In the top right corner.
Uh-huh.
There should be like a little button here. Hold on. Wait, please. Stop sharing. Share. This will be informative for all of our guests, I guess.
Okay.
You guys ready for some Inception?
Whoa!
You see my arrow, Doug? You see this button right here?
Wiggle it around a little bit. Okay. Up in the top right.
Do you see that button?
The three or four dots.
Nope. If you downloaded
the Sibling Revelry logo's over where your mouse is at. We're not even drunk. We're not even drunk.
You see this button right here?
I don't have that button.
Well, then you didn't download the extension correctly. All right, just turn it off, man. Do whatever you want to do.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Unless you got something that pops up or Kim says something, just let me know or read it out loud to me. We're not really.
Why don't you at least keep the YouTube chat up on your phone?
Okay, well, because I'm using my phone right now. When I'm done using my phone, I'll use it because I'm using my phone for notes and shit. I'll just talk like this. Fuck it. So yesterday was 222 day, and I started talking about how yesterday I've always known 222 day as Corey Feldman and Corey Haim day. Like that's always been their. Corey Feldman has this ridiculous story about how when they were introduced as friends, they were huge fans of numerology, and his favorite number was 12, and Corey's was 22, and I don't know. It's ridiculous. That's how I always known 222 day. Well, apparently a lot of shit happened yesterday. Aside from the fact that it's like a historical day, which I'm sure you'll explain to me when I'm done jawing off the mouth, but it was also a release day for a lot of different bands and artists. It was supposed to be the release of Donda 2, which I don't think came out, but he did have a listening party, which he live streamed on YouTube. It was an hour and a half. It was amazing. I watched the entire thing. But the most important thing that happened, in my opinion, yesterday, and I'm not saying this because I consider him a friend, although he probably doesn't think about me, and that's okay. I don't give a shit. But I do love Upgrade Hip Hop. Yesterday, he released his album. I wrote it down, and Jesus Christ, man.
Something comfort. Damn it! I feel super bad right now.
I had everything written down, but I got so self-conscious about my glasses that I closed all my windows and shit, and all my notes.
I planned on listening to it tonight.
I'm looking it up right now. It's really some of his Tired of My Back Hurts. His new album is called Tired of My Back Hurts. It came out yesterday. It's streaming everywhere. I highly recommend it. It's like 24 minutes long, I think. It is some of his best work, not just musically, but like his lyrics just keep getting tighter and tighter. And I actually wrote him yesterday when I listened to the album at work, and I wrote, one of the lines I quoted to him was, "You're artificial at heart like Tony Stark. God damn it, man. I want to interview you on another podcast." And then he reminded me, because I couldn't understand the rest of the lyric, but the lyric is, "You're artificial at heart like Tony Stark. Came back in my old digs and dropped harder than Owen Hart." Like, he's got some really dope ass lyrics on it. Like just the way his mind works. And this afternoon I was, it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of love for him online, which I think is fucking great. It's absolutely deserved. But like, somebody wrote on his Twitter, like, my favorite Upgrade Hip Hop line in Tired of My Back Hurts is, "From what do I know?" And in parentheses, the lyric is, "I really do think a lot about how dumb I am, honestly." And then I quoted that tweet, I was so fucking high when I read that I wasn't thinking about it. I'm just like, God, I do think I'm dumb a lot. Like, I related to what he was saying, not really considering the context of it. So I retweeted that. I'm like, 100 I literally retweeted that and quote tweeted it and wrote 100. This album is complete lyrical gymnastics, bro. And then I read it in like sober speak, and I'm like, I'm gonna unquote tweet that because I sound like a fucking idiot. But regardless, yesterday was 222. Upgrade released his new album, Tired of My Back Hurts, yesterday. I highly recommend it. It is truly if you love hip hop, it's fucking awesome.
I'm putting the Spotify link in right now.
Please.
So it'll be in the description.
I genuinely love him. I started listening to the 2-part episode. Bob and I, on Bob and Doug Save You From Boredom last year, interviewed him, and it was a 2-parter. And I've never seen him live. I've never met him. I kind of feel like after the 3.5 hours we talked, I got to like it didn't even feel like I was getting to know somebody. It just felt like I was talking with somebody I've always known. Like, I was completely at ease with the dude. Like, he's led an interesting life, and I would love for him to come on this show as well, which I've extended to him. But yeah, I recommend not just that.
You invited him here?
I extended him. I'm like, I'd like to get you on another podcast soon, but like, he's busy, so I doubt it'll ever happen. But because it took him a while to get on Bob and Doug. I know that. But what was I going to say? His new album came out yesterday. Tired of My Back Hurts. I recommend that, but not just that. Like, his entire catalog is phenomenal. I want to say Gas Station Bananas, his album prior to this, is phenomenal. Black Lotus especially is one of my favorite songs. But anyway, his album came out. That was yesterday. So what else is going on in your week?
I'm
trailing off now. So
no, I'm doing good. I just today was a busy day. Work was pretty big. Oh, so to inform our viewers as to why they are getting the pleasure of us being on camera today, Doug had an early day because it was a snow day, which means we got more than 5 inches of snow. I got 8 inches at my place. So I did my 8 hours today, and then I just got done. Literally, I set up the stream, plowed up my property, took a shower, and then I literally jumped on here. So it's been a busy day. I'm pumped. I'm ready to unwind for the night, hang out with you guys, shoot the shit. But this week, I mean, as far as stuff going on in the world, mental gymnastics, we'll cover more of that on Saturday. But I'm doing really good. Still eating chicken and vegetables.
How's that? You're looking good. You are looking good. That's not bullshit. You're thinning out in the face big time, buddy.
Thanks, man. I'm just ready to get done with this and house one of the rolls, sushi roll.
That shirt you're wearing, the other night you were wearing one that was black and gray.
Yeah. I love baseball shirts.
Where'd you get them at?
Oh God, when I was dating homegirl in Iron River.
Ironwood?
Yeah. I think it was Walmart though. I think I just got it at Walmart.
I like the black and gray one. I'd like to have a couple of those.
I got a black and red one. I got a white and gray one. I love baseball shirts.
I do not, but I want one of those black and gray ones. I'm more of just a basic ass t-shirt. When it's cold like this, I'm hoodie. Comfort for me is just a hoodie when it's cold out. But most of the time, if I'm by myself and it's the summertime, I'm usually just in a pair of shorts and nothing else. I let my melted candle looking tits just flop everywhere. I look horrible without a shirt on. Dude, I have gotten so invested in 1,000-Pound Sisters. Like the progress Amy has made on that show, dude, where she started. Now that I'm starting from season 1 and knowing where she gets in season 3, god damn it, I love Amy Slayton. That show is fucking fun, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. TLC knocked out of the park with 1,000-Pound Sisters, man.
I really have not had time to sit down and watch anything so far this week. I was hoping. I think the new Pam and Tommy's out. I'm gonna watch that tonight. When we're
God damn it! Thank you. I forgot it's Wednesday.
Yeah. Also, I gotta find something to just throw on in the background and pass time. During the days, I've been listening to Rekieta Law. Shout out Rekieta Law. He's doing the Curtis trial all day. He streams that for 9-10 hours a day, and then he does his 11 o'clock show at night. Hey, great show, fantastic. Nikki knows the boomer.
He mentioned us on his show the other day on Copyright Cuckolds. Is that what it's called?
No. He's currently he got a copy strike from Law and Order for using their feed for broadcasting the court show. And
I'm glad I promoted the clip on Instagram as we were just featured on Copyright Cuckold. So I'm like, God damn it.
No, he put that graphic over. He was supposed to get his strike got applied yesterday on YouTube. He thought he wasn't going to be able to stream, but he's still able to stream. Law and Crime now has 10 days to file a federal lawsuit, but they can't because you can't get a copyright for court footage because court footage is public record.
That's true.
So he's going to go fight the good fight for all content creators because he's like I'm adding commentary. It's not your, you know what I mean? It's not your cameras. I'm adding commentary. I'm turning the product around. It's something new. So if they do file a lawsuit, which I don't think they will, I don't think they'll win. That, and I believe in Nikki knows. Old Nick Rekieta knows what's up.
I've fallen in love with a YouTuber named Gothics.tv, who I am a very big fan of her so far. I've only watched one and a quarter video, but God damn it, that woman is very informative, very interesting opinions on her. I'm fascinated by her. I recommend watching her if you're like me, who's like, I don't know if I know a lot of people right now think that I'm like Red State Doug, and I certainly lean into that. And I do love leaning into that kind of version of me. But I would say that I'm split down the middle because I do believe in common sense and rationality, but I do have empathy towards that. And I think that can be said for most people, but for whatever reason, I live in a world where people want to define that. And I think I'm split down the middle, but if you're like me, who feels like they're split down the middle and isn't 100% sure on anything, it's just a fascinating person to watch, especially if you're pasty like me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, my taste in entertainment, throughout the day, I watch all of LawTube. Rekieta Law, Uncivil Law, Good Logic, Legal Bites, Viva
You
Fry.
really enjoy that.
I do. I find it incredibly fascinating, and there's so many great law tubers out there. Nate the Lawyer. I mean, I recommend anybody check them out because they cover a variety of different topics. They all have their different styles. Like Nate the Lawyer, has followed the whole U.S. women's soccer team lawsuit, and he puts out his videos. Viva Fry has been second to none on the Canadian coverage. He's been going down there, walking the streets, and he's a Canadian lawyer, so it's good to get his take on it. Runkle the Bailey is also another one.
Now for poutine, now they bring up Canada.
Yeah, and he's from Quebec, the home of the poutine.
Turn my monitor back on. Hi, Kim.
And then at nights, it's for I watch. I don't know. It could be anything. It depends. Like You Are Here, Tim Pool. All my good conservative. Well, Tim Pool's kind of a milquetoast fence sitter. And then I always look forward to 11 o'clock at night so I can get unbreaded with good old Nick Rekieta again.
I usually, before the pandemic, we were talking about it the other night. Before the pandemic, I had a routine of Monday, Tuesday. Literally, I was cleaning up one of my external hard drives, and I found a folder that had a folder for Monday, a folder for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the days of the week. I had separate folders because I used to have a routine where every network had different shows that I loved, and I was constantly doing something, and I didn't have time to watch everything. So I would just download those shows and put them into different folders.
This is
years ago. I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
This is
years and we do not advocate that either.
No, absolutely not. Although I wouldn't say you're you need to be mandated or anything by a Canadian Prime Minister. If you were, I just say hey, stop fucking doing that.
Or a streaming service that says you can't promote paying.
I'm not promoting it. I'm not promoting. I'm telling a fucking story. I can't tell a story anymore.
I'm just giving a warning. I'm just letting know. I'm letting the powers that be and Susan Wojcicki know. Okay,
this is Doug 10 years ago is when this was. And I had my point being is I had a routine where I realized every day the life for everybody in this world was set up based on what shows you were watching versus the day of the week. Same, I imagine, is with football nowadays or baseball. And I'd lost that when the pandemic happened. I'd either lost that cycle or stopped giving a shit about entertainment in some regards, in a sense. And so I don't have that. I'm in except for you. I forgot Pam and Tommy was a thing until you just said it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to watch that. For the most part, I'm very milquetoast. I'm very plain when I come home from work. I know for a fact I'm going to be up for an hour and a half, and then I'm going to pass out at some point on my recliner. So I just want to laugh for the most part or zone out. I don't watch a lot of politics at night. I like watching Legion of Skanks, Workaholics, stupid shit like that. So if I'm going to watch something on YouTube at that time of night, it's usually comedy related, or I would even consider Crowder. I'll watch clips of Crowder. I'll watch clips of Shapiro. I'll watch clips of Rogan, various shit like that'll pop up until I pass out. But I don't have anything that I'm glued to anymore, except for Monday Night Legion of Skanks. That is a must for me. To the point where, sorry, I was gonna say to the point. Go ahead, man.
No, you go. You go. This is entertaining. All I was going to say is something I think you would find really fun and entertaining because of your extracurricular activities. Look up and write this down. I highly recommend it. Oversimplified on YouTube. He goes through. He does cart. Oh man, those are highly entertaining. Some nights I'll just go back and rewatch all the ones he's got out so far.
I like those.
I love history.
Although lately it's been and I've told you this too. Lately it's been rewatching a lot of old Church of What's Happening Now episodes because I truly miss that. And it's funny because today, or no, it was yesterday. It was today. Joey Diaz, for those of you who don't know what the Church of What's Happening Now is, used to be a podcast for I think 7 or 8 years out of LA. It was hosted and created by Joey Coco Diaz, one of my favorite living comedians, and Lee Syatt, who was his producer and audio recorder. And the podcast became two guys interviewing rock stars, comedians, or eventually just hanging out with each other and getting to know each other. It was Joey Diaz is what did you say, 40 years older than Lee? 30, 40 years older than him, if that? And Joey just turned 69, I think Joey just turned. Joey just had a birthday the other day, and Lee just had a birthday. Lee's in his 30s, so a 30-year difference, give or take. And it was an interesting podcast because it was when it wasn't them interviewing comedians or rock stars, it was them getting to know each other. It was an interesting dynamic because Joey never had a son and Lee has a father, but Lee never had met anybody Lee is a Jewish man, but came from like I wouldn't say sheltered, but seemingly sheltered lifestyle. You met Joey, his whole world got turned upside down. Like he'd never even thought about trying marijuana. And then Joey started dosing him on air with edibles and telling him they were 5 milligrams and giving them 200 milligram edibles and shit. So like it became this interesting podcast of two guys getting to know each other from different perspectives of the world, where Lee grew up in the world today that you and I are familiar with. Joey grew up in a world that doesn't exist anymore. It's a world you can only see, quite honestly, in movies or documentaries or TV shows. The New York that Joey talks about, that's a New York that most people will never understand, will never even think existed. And I honestly, that's what I got so reminiscent of that show that I started watching old episodes of that on YouTube. And Joey Diaz moved when the pandemic happened and the Church of What's Happening Now stopped. And him and Lee went, for the first time in 7 years, parted their separate ways and went about their own lifestyles. Lee dropped almost 200 pounds. Looks phenomenal. Lee's thinner than both you and me put together, I think. He looks amazing. He's like, I think he said today he's 190 pounds, but he looks phenomenal. You wouldn't recognize him. And Joey ended up moving to New Jersey and living a quiet life and doing comedy and hosting his podcast, which is the Uncle Joey's Joint with Joey Diaz. And today, Lee was the guest for the first time ever on the podcast. I think except for episode 1. He was the guest on episode 1, which was like a year or two ago. And it was fun to listen to that. I don't know. Like you talked about me having a superpower, getting baked and predicting what guests are going to be or topics like that. And it was just funny. It was like, I've been watching a lot of that. And then together they come back. I was thinking that this morning, like how much I love watching Church of What's Happening Now, how it's almost like comfort food. It's just because it's not over the top. It's vulgar, but it's not over the top. It's definitely a comfort. If you live a crazy life or a busy life, it's nice to relax to that in a weird way, because it's Joey giving Lee knowledge that you don't get from a lot of people anymore, because not a lot of people like Joey Diaz exist anymore. You don't have that old school knowledge to be passed. Paul, you and I grew up working with guys like that. We had guys like that in our family, you know?
Yeah, cocksucker.
And I miss that element of the two of them, but it's it is what it is. But that's where my mind's been a lot at lately is listening to those two talk and trying to live in a world that doesn't have that anymore, you know?
Absolutely. Oh shit. I gotta work. I gotta go through and work on some graphics. I might do that tonight while I just drone out and watch TV. Work on graphics for Brothers from Other Mothers, and I think I'm gonna use all of them up.
Right on, man.
All of our graphics that we have left.
Did John get his topics in, Bob?
Nobody's. I know. I haven't gotten mine.
We're doing AI. That's fine. I forgot. I
gotta
think about that. I gotta
set up my list for Saturday show too.
I've been working on that since Sunday. I'm yeah. Now that I know what the format of sibling revelry now that I know what the format of this show is on Saturdays. It's easier to plan for, and it's especially the way my mind works and how you and I consume media and entertainment. It's so much more easier that way for me to take notes and keep up on it. I like doing it, but yeah, for me tonight is just, I think I'm going to do Pam and Tommy. I do want to watch part 2 of Genius, the Kanye West documentary that came out on Netflix today, and I am going to make tater tots at some point tonight. I don't know when, but at some point I'm going to make tater tots.
I'm so jealous of you.
I'm not going to make a lot of them. I'm just going to make like a handful, like the portion size that you're supposed to have.
I'm still jealous.
You'll get there.
I got to figure out a show. Like I might do a rewatch of Justified or Sopranos for like nighttime just to drone out to. I mean, I just got, I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody. I know I'm not that entertaining right now. I just kind of hit a brick wall.
Because we're not drinking. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, God. You know what? Speaking of which.
You want to have a beer?
I drank 12 beers in that 4-hour episode on Saturday.
I don't got to be to work till 2 tomorrow. Do you want to have a beer?
No, because I got to be up early ass in the morning to work. And I think I did Jameson on Saturday's show.
You did?
As soon as the show. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
I didn't know that.
With Tony and them. And
I don't remember. I didn't get that far yet in the episode.
Yeah, that was the first time in a long time where Paul went right to bed and the room was spinning, slept like shit. Woke up hungover.
You're right. You're right. You did
check out on the Brothers Other Mothers episode.
I remember now. You did do it. You did do it. I remember because I was listening to it at work and I tuned out. I had to pull my phone out at some points because it was around the time when Tony's girlfriend came on, and it was funny. It's not a bad thing because it was all golden. It was making me laugh, and at some point I'm like, I got to skip through this because there's too much of it. But like the more you drag, the more like I'm just letting you know, something should ever happen for Tony. I got you. I got you covered. I'm like, oh boy, Paul's getting out of hand.
That was fun, man. That was fun. They knew I was joking.
I know.
That's me sober, though. Like, I would say that shit sober. That was a good time. Saturday was a good night.
Saturday's always a good night.
I would like to stop the trend of every episode is longer than the last.
I didn't start the trend. That's just how it happens, man.
Oh,
I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to leave the party unless I want to leave. And the problem with doing this show on Saturday nights, our internet is skipping. I have a feeling it's mine. The problem with doing the show on Saturday nights is
it's mine.
How can that be? You have the great Elon Musk. What the fuck's going on, man?
It's sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Right now, it's fine.
It's kind of cool because you look like because you have the blur setting on. You look like Mac at certain times. You look like Max Headroom. But you're like, hey, that's my area.
I watched. Somebody made a YouTube Max Headroom documentary that was really entertaining. Like it was just.
Go ahead.
Off. No, I wasn't going to go into a long diatribe.
Matthew Frewer was Max Headroom. Fantastic character actor. I would like somebody to make a documentary about. Yeah, he was. Somebody make a documentary about a show from that time period. That's why you jolted my memory. Erie, Indiana. I would like to see a documentary on whatever happened to that show. It was a fantastic show. Why it only lasted one season? Well, it was the time. I guess the time it came out.
And it was funny because it was a Saturday morning show. Like
that was an evening show, I think, wasn't it?
No, that was a Saturday morning show.
I'm not calling you a liar. I just want to make sure that we get our facts right because I listen to podcasts that we've done in the past, and sometimes when I re-listen them back, I'm like, oh my god, I'm giving out so much false information right now.
And before you Google it, I'm going to guess it was CBS or ABC, and it might have been Fox, but I'm pretty sure it was CBS or ABC. Hold
on, I'm going to the Wikipedia page because, as you know, Wikipedia is the last bastion of free speech and truth in this country. Originally aired on NBC from 91, September 15th, 91. From September 15th, 1991 to April 2nd, 1992. Total of 19 episodes were produced. 97 show, Production, episodes, reception. Erie, Indiana was well received by critics, In his review.
Yeah, you took a shot, Paul, and I thought you were going to fall out of your chair. Oh, Kim, that was the drunkest I've been in a long, long time. Like I said, it was 12 beers. I woke up the next morning and there was 12 cans in my bin. And on top of the Jameson, she could have went off the rails pretty hard that night. I still haven't gotten to the end of last week's episode.
You were right. You were right in the sense that Erie, Indiana was on a weekend. It was on a Sunday, but it was at 7:30 at night.
Really?
Yep.
I always remember watching it in the mornings.
Well, probably because we had I remember you and I recording that on VHS. That was one of the shows that we recorded because remember Dad had the VCR that had the timer set up and he could never get the timer to work right. So we just recorded a whole tape all through the night. God, those were the days, man.
Another show in that same vein from our childhood that like I would love to go back and rewatch as an adult to see how it held up. And I've got a very funny personal story but I won't share it on this. I'll share it on a Saturday episode some night. Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon?
Fantastic show. Never saw the remake. Have you seen that yet? I know they remade it.
But I didn't even know they remade it.
The new Nickelodeon. I think it's only 2 seasons out now. I'm not sure, but I know the Nickelodeon remade it like recently. I love it.
There was an episode about a kid in a mall, and he was into pinball. I can't remember the broad strokes of it, but then there was like a queen in the game. I'll tell the story one time on Saturday. Let me collect my thoughts and write the story down. Actually, I'll rewatch the episode, and I'll tell an incredibly embarrassing story.
I remember the first episode of that show that ever aired because it'll stick in my mind forever. It was about a clown that smoked cigars who kidnapped kids at the carnival.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, nice to have dead air.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Pinball Wizard 13. Yep. Okay. I wanted to make sure my nostalgic memory wasn't making that up.
We had a lot of cool shit we grew up on, man. We were fortunate enough to grow up at a cool time.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, but like maybe it's because we didn't have the internet when we were kids. Like I remember being into I remember being into like classic movies, classic music. Like we would listen to the oldie station. Like I feel like younger generations these days, unless like an older song is sampled in a Kanye album, they'll never listen to it.
Probably
and like,
a lot of truth to
like
that.
they don't know a lot of stuff that existed in the 90s.
I think some.
Granted, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure some things sneak through. I'm sure like Nirvana transcends time. I'd like to think so. Sublime.
I guarantee the internet is the factoring difference in it. I remember when right before we moved to Florida, Seth and Nate's folks just got dial-up internet, and they were the first friends of mine. I think maybe Gordon had it too, but Seth and Nate, I remember the first friends of mine that I remember going to their house and being allowed to use Netscape. And Sidney Crawford had just posed for Playboy. And when somebody explained to me what the internet could be used for, I remember finding a website that had scans, JPEG scans of all of these pages of Playboy. And I remember it took a half hour for one picture to load up of Cindy Crawford, just in a bra.
And you would get it like this.
Yep. And it was so, and we were just sitting there staring at it all night, and that's how I became friends. And we would tell stories and make jokes and shit like that. And now I live in a world where porn is so accessible. Like I could pull my phone out at the airport and jerk off if I needed to. But the problem I think that with that comes is the desensitization. Yeah, if I haven't already, or being at church, whatever. But the desensitization, I think it's been like it's insane to me because I thought about this the other day. I will never and I don't know if it's an attribute to like maybe just how long it took for me to get with a chick.
I played the episode Sunday.
Cool.
Thank you.
I don't come. It's such a weird thing to go right back into. I don't.
What's funny is it plays into my Pinball Wizard 13 story of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
But I don't. It's funny like that. We're talking about things that we like missed the era that we grew up on. Like, I think the factoring of kids being desensitized to sexuality because they have one of these and because it's just a normal part of life now is so. It's fortunate we didn't have that because I remember how good it was to be able to shoot fucking ropes across the room. You could come across the street if you had it in you, and now I'm lucky if I got just like a perk.
Now it looks like a sad man crying.
Doesn't even look like a sad man crying. It barely is a teardrop, dude. Like I'm literally getting ready to go to my. I'm literally getting ready to go to my. I'm positive. I am positive, without even getting tested, that I don't have that I could not impregnate a woman. I'm positive that my sperm count is so low from the shit I've done.
We gotta make this a segment on the show. Me and you should both get our sperm counts done.
I have a yearly checkup coming up next month with my doctor for my blood work, my weight, and all that stuff. And I literally was going to tell him about this and ask him like if there's a form of testosterone that he recommends, because I feel like I seriously, I feel like there could be more, like the will is there, but the execution is piss fucking poor. I'm working with the mentality of DreamWorks, and my cock is putting out trauma at best. And I love trauma, but let's be honest, they're two different fucking things. They're leaps and bounds. Is this entertaining to anybody?
I'm with you. I would like to say that at a young, spry 37 years old, I am still shooting ropes. I feel pretty good about it. And I don't know if old Kamikaze Jojo is listening or not, but in his kind words, I'm still shooting vinegar strokes, bro. Vinegar strokes.
Oh, my God. Well, vinegar strokes is the face you make as you're coming. That's a vinegar stroke. You haven't watched the league. You don't know the league. God damn it, Pulp. Everybody watching the show, if you've ever seen the league on FX and you know what I'm talking about, and you think it's a good show worthy of Paul watching, you want a new show to watch? Give that show a chance. And keep in mind that season 1 of that show is like The Office. After season 1, it becomes a different show because certain characters leave. Give that show a chance. You'll get a lot of the references that people are throwing you, like
I'm pretty sure JoJo was a big league fan. He's coming on this Saturday, I think. I invited him tonight, but he's did the new Destiny came out and he's rocking the new Destiny.
I already want to do a show with him over you because he gets what Vinegar Strokes is. I already know he's
your
watched
internet.
I don't
your
need
internet's dying. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. It was my end. It was my end. It was my end. It was my end. It was my end.
Yeah, I know.
My apologies.
It's okay.
But yeah. That was always one of his classic sayings. You guys are gonna get along. You guys are gonna get along really,
just
really
occurred
well.
to me it just occurred to me. I'm not going to name them right now because I haven't heard back from them. But I remember I told you that I was talking to two of our friends, one of our closest family friends, about what's going on in Canada to get his response on that. And he's like, it's too long of a response. But here's my brief undertaking. And I'm like, we need to get you on the show. Like, and I know he'd be awesome on the show. I'm like, you don't have to come on, but it'd be awesome if you did it. And then I sent him a link to the last episode. I thought, fuck, if this could get anybody on the show, this could get. And here I go, spent the last 10 minutes talking about how I need testosterone and teardrops and Vinegar Strokes. And I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Anyway. Did he watch the show?
I have no idea. I haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
But it's a 4-hour show. I wouldn't watch a 4-hour show, my friend. I really wouldn't. I don't think I could sit through 4 hours unless I thought we were the shit. And I don't think we're the shit. I think we're good. I'm not. I have room for.
I love long form content. Like I think it's one of the reasons. Like I really
want to
enjoy
stop doing long episodes.
That's not what I said. I said I just don't want to make a trend of making every episode longer than the next. Next thing you know, we're going to quit our jobs and we'll have a 19-hour stream.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you tell me, if after all the shit that you've been doing behind the scenes to really push this, if you get a hold of me and if you text me and say call me 911, or if you try and fuck with, like, I don't know, that would probably freak me out. But like, if you got a hold of me and said, hey, quit your job, I would hesitate for a good 8 hours, and I'd continuously be like, are you fucking with me? And I'd call Bob, like, have you talked to Paul? Is he fucking with me? Like, I would try and figure it out, but like at some point it would click over with me. Like, if that happened, if that day came where you called me and said quit your job, I'm not kidding, I would find Christ again. I would go back to church Wednesday and Sunday. You come from fuck off, Kim.
You'd quit your job. Note to self: don't put cum chats on the stage when we're in the middle of a good story.
That's all I had to say.
I feel like derailed it. No, I would love to quit my job and do this full time.
Yeah, that's what I said. I would go back to church. I go to Wednesday.
The quality of the show would be a lot better if we didn't work full time.
I think my background's okay. I think my camera's okay.
Truthfully.
Well, I've looked into it. There's a female urologist on YouTube who does a doctor show, and I'm not going to go into this. I'm sorry I brought it up. God damn it.
I can't wait to tell my Pinball Wizard stories on Saturday now. It'll make you feel a lot better about tonight.
It's not like that. Let me rephrase. It's not like that all the time. Here's what I've noticed. This is why I say desensitization to internet porn. This is why I think what it is for me. There are a handful of times where I genuinely get excited about somebody in my personal life, whether it be outside or inside of work, whether I know it's something that I could never pursue, that's something that would never happen. Just if somebody catches my eye and I'm turned on by them, I will take that home and have a scenario in my head later. Wow, your internet's getting real choppy. I will take that home. It's all guys do it. It sounds so fucked up to say that, but it's true. All guys do it, man. And when you're in, I don't want to continue with the story now.
Okay,
I'm glad. I'm like, the further I go into this, I'm like, this is not painting you in a good light. This makes sense. Just make you sound like a creep. But it's not like that all the time. Let me just say like that.
All right. So what you're saying is the water pressure in the hose changes from day to day.
I'm saying I need a beer. I probably wouldn't give a shit about this as much if I had a beer. The water pressure does change. It does change. It does change. But for the most part, like when it's like, when I feel like I have the urge where I just want to bang one out, it really is not like it. Don't get me wrong. The feeling is there. It still feels the way it's supposed to feel. It's not as volumaic is the right word, but sometimes it is. Like I said, it depends. It just depends on my mood, if I'm using my mind versus my phone. I don't know why I'm being this descriptive. I don't know why I brought it up because I'm trying to entertain, but this isn't entertaining. It's gross. I'm sorry, Paul. Fucking say something, goddammit.
All right, man. Every time I try to talk, you get mad at me for interrupting. So when you're talking, I just let you go, and then I'll take over when I have a shot. I will talk about something like not having social media for years and then jumping on Twitter for the show. I gotta say, I feel like I waste a lot of time on Twitter now.
I've noticed that. Like it really, I wasn't like, I'm glad this is, you and I have this thing where I'm not going to say nothing to you about what certain things I see because I know you don't do the same for me, but because you and I have the same opinion. We should be left to our own devices. We know right from wrong. We're not fools. Mm-hmm. When this started taking off and you're like, I'm creating a Twitter account, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to spawn something that I've never seen. And you're right. I have never seen this version of you. I'm seeing a lot more of you pop up. When my phone starts pinging all the time, I'm like, holy shit, Paul is active.
Yeah. I like to think I'm actually trying to do some good in my use of social media.
It's not bad. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
I just noticed that. I've just noticed that it's become a big thing for you.
Yeah. Well, and there's times where it's like, what it is like, if I have a free 20, 30 minutes, like I go ham in that 20 or 30 minutes, where normally I would like, fuck off and just play with my dogs, which by the way, I'd rather play with my dogs than be on social media, but I won't lie and say it hasn't been fun. Oh, and Sibling Revelry got accepted into Truth Media. I'm just waiting for their backlog of 450,000.
You know why? You know why it's taken forever to get in? Because it's a room filled with the truth. Only the truth.
I walked into the room and I was like, there's so much truth in this room. Here it is. This is the truth on truth. I'm Donald Trump.
I stepped in. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. These are the wrong kind of bar stools. They got to be Q. They got to be shaped like Q.
Yeah, I'm currently number 216,403 on the waiting list for Truth Social once it gets activated.
How many people are they bringing in during the day?
You guys are my favorite shit. The kind that just speaks to the... and then you sit there for 4 hours trying to... Hey, you guys are my favorite... Oh, okay, I
totally get it. I totally get it.
My brain is not working correctly today, but I got it. I definitely got it.
Sorry, Cam. I honestly think it's because I'm not lubricated. That's my purpose. I am a little stoned. But so... Are they letting a handful of people in daily? Is that what the reason why I know why there's a backlog. There's a backlog because they don't want to crash the servers, but
yeah, I don't understand it all. I don't know. I'm just waiting my turn.
Do you know how many people they're letting in a day though, or have you looked into that? Okay,
not at all.
Okay,
have invested zero time researching it. I was just like, oh, let me apply for this like a couple weeks back, and then it was just like, you've been accepted, and then it showed up in my iPhone, and I was like, cool,
nice, man.
I mean, you knew it was going to get bum rushed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. So the servers are just getting taxed. Happens on all new tech.
There was a lot of fun memes today about like I said, last night was supposed to be this is what I was going to say. Last night was the Donda 2, Kanye West's latest album, Donda 2. Kim, I literally was, oh, man.
Donda 2.
Donda 2 it was interesting live show. Like now I'm like all fucking concerned and
Whoa, bro. If we ever start getting more people commenting and you're getting upset by
I'm working
looking
on
out for your personal health.
Hey. First of all, this is new to me. I'm taking it all into stride, but I'm trying to do an entertainment. Granted, I said it for entertainment purposes. I get why it's a serious thing, but I also said that I was going to see a doctor and I was going to bring it up to him. But anyway, it just threw me off. It threw me off.
If you ever get the chance to see Ricada Law live, look at his live chat when it rolls in. Just a bunch of degenerates. He shows up a second late to a stream. You just see the chat fill with late and gay. On a scale of late to gay, he is totally Jack Murphy right now.
How much was the super chats? How much are those?
You can give as much as you want. Once you're monetized,
it's like a tip-based thing.
Yeah, it's just a tip-based thing. Cool. You can give as much as you want.
Right on.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm ready to crash tonight. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, we can do that.
Well,
I gotta make time. Plowings.
Plowing snow. I'm sorry. Look at my brain is literally not working correctly today. I was plowing snow, and it just kind of.
This was an
tired
impromptu
up,
thing. There was no format to this. This was an impromptu thing because we both had the night off. There's nothing wrong with ending it early. You know, we did something.
Yeah. I know you guys.
I know, but I'm trying to be a better person. And one of those things is like, okay, let me rephrase this before we go out. Before I ended shit, before I started becoming a different person mentally, like I had no problem airing out all of that shit. And don't get me wrong, some of it's very funny. I get why it can be entertaining. I get why I did it to begin with. But the person I'm trying to be now is like, you know what? Yeah, you still think this shit. Not everybody needs to hear it. Not on a public forum. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where, like, when I'm in the middle of stories and I'm like, you know what? This isn't a story that has a good ending that paints me in the best light. So I'm just going to stop telling. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I know you're not an idiot. I didn't say you were. And I know I got to get my sperm shit. Like, I got to stop talking about certain shit. This is why I like the Saturday show, because there's structure to it. This is the improv with the impromptu show. It's my fault.
This is why I'm glad I'm not in my own head like that. Because I'm not embarrassed or I don't care if it paints me in a bad light. And as a matter of fact, I think that's what I'll start doing if we ever do another weekday show, because it all depends on Doug's schedule. Doug's the one who works, well, it's my night. I work during the day. He works mid shifts. So that's why we don't do many weekdays. But whenever we do, we'll throw up a random one. I'll think of a personal story, like whether it's an old Navy tale or something like that, and have it prepped and ready to go. Where and I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest. I'll tell you if I've, paid for Ladies of the Night's company.
Oh, I have.
In a place
a lot,
like
a lot. I've spent more money
Eastern Europe.
I thought spent on it. Well,
dude, if I had a nickel for every dollar I wasted in this world, I'd be a rich man today. If I was giving it back.
I had a nickel for every dollar
I wasted. I've wasted a lot of money on dumb shit, especially when I was in the military, especially when I was on leave, especially when I was in a foreign country.
First of all, I'm going to say this. I don't think anybody whose job is to make you climax, I don't think that's dumb shit at all. I think that is like a service worth paying for. The fact that it's taken us this long to start legalizing marijuana, like now they're like, well, we're going to legalize mushrooms and psychedelics. And I'm all for that. Fuck it, though. Legalize prostitution first. Legalize it and regulate it.
Nevada, it's legal. Well, certain parts of Nevada.
I don't live in Nevada, and I'm not about to drive to get a Hummer, for crying out loud.
All right, man. So, I think we're at the point where we can wrap her up, huh?
Yeah. I don't really have an. We should probably think of a format for impromptu shows like this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're watching us for the first time in this episode, don't judge us by this episode. Probably if you judge us already, you've already turned off. But this was just kind of a slap together. Let's put the cameras on and talk to the screen. So here we are. But our Saturday shows are way better formatted than this, in my opinion. I think they are.
And mine too.
But
we're well lubricated. We're having fun. We've got topics. We've literally had the show planned and formatted. This was not. This was put together last minute.
So anyway, we appreciate you joining us on a weeknight. If anything, we hope it helped you waste a little bit of time, at least 48 minutes. So, Doug, let's go ahead and do it, even though it's Wednesday.
You want to go first?
Be happy. Just do that. Whatever you're doing in life, just be happy. I feel too many people are doing things because they feel they have to, and they don't get any joy out of it, and they just do it because they feel it's necessity. If you have a dream or if you have a project or a hobby, embrace it. Just do something to make yourself happy every single day and build on it every single day. That's my final thought.
I've got a couple of them. I'm going to try and get them out real quick.
Pick one.
You know me; it's going to dovetail. Honestly, as I was listening to you give your final thought just now, I started thinking about like I was looking at Instagram. Like I made a video before we went live promoting the show. Like, hey, if you guys want, we're going to go live with an impromptu show and shit. And a couple people I've just looked at it. A couple people have seen that video. And I'm sure they haven't watched this. I'm sure if they have, they're not all the way here. But if they have, like, as soon as I saw who it was, I'm like, oh, there's a couple of people here who are probably going to look at me in a different light. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I love you, Kim. I wasn't really hurt. I wasn't really. It just threw me off a little bit, but that's my fault, not yours. Anyway, I saw a couple of people who had seen that video and how it just was and how I got in my head about like what I was saying and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, they probably see me in a different light. And then it just hit me as you were talking. I'm like, I think I know you didn't. I thought to myself, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. I hate you, Paul. Now you're doing it. I thought to myself, I think I'm going to stop with cannabis for a little while and just see the difference, because I feel like I'm more in my head when we do stuff like this and I talk stuff about like this, but when I'm not, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it makes me a little bit more nervous and shit on edge. And I'm wondering if it'll be different. That dovetails off into my final thought, which is really, I am going to try and stop for a little while. I'm going to cool off, just see how it is. But my final thought is Upgrade Hip Hop. Tired of My Back Hurts. Came out yesterday. Check that album out. Link is in the description. Also, my final thought, like Paul said, it's weird. After the events of the last few days going on across the globe, it's weird. Try and, like Paul said the other night, try and find common ground, even with people you disagree with. Even if you don't think you can, try and take yourself out of your shoes. Try and put yourself in their shoes. Try and understand what it would be like to live their lives. Try to understand how somebody, what you deem to be hateful or whatever, try and figure out why they could be that way, or in your head why it might be. We're talking about people who are there. Talk about how I'm in my head all the time. Maybe some people need to get in their head and try and figure out why they think about what they think. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My final thought is like Paul's: love everybody. Don't be a dick. Stop being an asshole. This is a terrible idea. Why did you listen to me? I am filled with bad. This is not a good idea. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This
was Doug's idea.
This was my idea. And I really shit the fucking bed, man. I am sorry, guys. I fumbled this like some famous football player fumbled the football in the winning game.
All right, everybody. If you joined us, we appreciate you watching. If you watch this video, come back Saturday nights, watch our real show.
Yeah,
we'll get better at this.
Can we take this off YouTube?
I mean, we could, but why not? Why? Let people see the bad. Let them see the good and the bad. Who cares?
I do. I think it's terrible.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody joining. Have a great night, and we'll hopefully see you on
Love everybody.
Saturday.